Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something pretty amazing. We're taking a profound 16th century spiritual poem and translating it into a highly practical guide for navigating today's high-stress world. Looking at how ancient wisdom can actually offer a radical reset for our notification-obsessed modern minds. We're talking directly about the pressure cooker so many of us live in every single day.
Think about your typical Tuesday for a second. The endless, relentless ping of messages, those deep-seated career anxieties, the heavy Sunday night dread, and just that exhausting illusion that we have to micromanage absolutely every outcome to be successful. It is so draining. But what if you can navigate even the most demanding, chaotic workdays feeling completely carefree? Now, I don't mean reckless. I mean truly unburdened. Let's see how that's actually possible. To get there, here's our roadmap. We'll look at escaping the modern grind, dive into a timeless spiritual message, find the carefree mindset, build your spiritual safety net, overcome fear and sorrow, and finally, look at the power of surrender. All right, section 1, escaping the modern grind and finding peace in the chaos. The real antidote to burnout isn't just better time management. It actually requires a complete foundational shift in your mindset. Which brings us to section 2, a timeless spiritual message, drawing on the wisdom of the SGGS. To make that mindset shift, we're turning to a beautifully grounded text that serves as the daily guidance for May 19th, 2026. So before we dive into the text itself, let's just clarify what we're actually looking at here. It's called a Hukamnama. Essentially, this translates to a sacred divine command, or daily spiritual guidance drawn from Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the holy scripture of Sikhism. Think of it like a timeless, daily grounding tool. Even though it's deeply ancient, it speaks so directly to our very visceral modern feelings of being overwhelmed. It's meant to be a daily anchor. Moving right along to section 3, finding the carefree mindset and detaching our self-worth from productivity. Okay, so the translation reads, "The saints do not know any other. They are carefree, ever in the Lord's love. The Lord and Master is on their side." I really want you to notice that word carefree here. In our modern corporate world, we usually think being carefree means, slacking off or dropping the ball. But in this spiritual context, it means being so deeply anchored that you simply aren't tossed around by the turbulent waves of the daily hustle. You are untethered from the petty anxieties of the day. So on one side, we have our default state, right? Modern anxiety. This is where we're constantly worrying about career optics, agonizing over performance reviews, or caught up in those endless career comparisons. It's an exhausting way to live. But contrast that with the spiritual application on the right, focusing only on your higher purpose, living in that Lord's love mentioned in the text. This narrows your vision down to what truly matters, completely stripping away the exhausting noise of the modern hustle. Now for section 4, your spiritual safety net, or the ultimate backup plan. The text continues with this beautiful image. Your canopy is so high, O Lord and Master, no one else has any power. Such as the immortal Lord, the spiritually wise remain absorbed in his love. The visual imagery of that high canopy is just incredible. I want you to imagine a massive, unshakable protective covering stretching far above you. It's almost like the ultimate, uncrashable IT backup for your soul. It represents a divine protection that sits miles above all of our earthly, office-level problems, just totally dwarfing the immediate crises we think are the end of the world. Because think about it, when you internalize that a higher power, this overarching canopy has your back, the life or death stakes of a bad workday suddenly feel much, much lower. This ancient metaphor is a powerful tool to detach our core well-being from our immediate professional successes or failures. So you missed a deadline? A project failed? The canopy is still there. You are still whole. Next up, section 5, overcoming fear and sorrow and protecting your peace. Here the text lists what cannot approach the humble servant, the spiritually grounded person: disease, sorrow, pain, old age, and death. Now, we shouldn't just read these as literal physical ailments. These really represent our deepest, most modern fears. The disease of chronic burnout, the sorrow and pain of a failed venture, the intense anxiety of old age, which, let's be honest, in today's fast-paced world often means the terrifying fear of aging out of relevance in your career. The text promises that when you're spiritually anchored, these fears simply lose their grip on you. They literally cannot approach your inner peace. See, our default state is living in constant fear of the future. We're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, trying to outplan every possible negative scenario. And man, it is
draining your energy. But contrast that with the spiritual state, remaining absolutely fearless in the love of the one Lord. It is trading chronic worry for complete, radical fearlessness. Which leads us to our final section, Section 6, the power of surrender and letting go of the illusion of control. The verse concludes like this: they remain fearless in the love of the one Lord. O Nanak, they have surrendered their minds to the Lord. Take a second to really let that sink in. They have surrendered their minds. In our professional lives, we are taught to grip the steering wheel as tightly as humanly possible, right? We think control equals safety. But this wisdom tells us the exact opposite. True peace, that totally fearless state, comes strictly from letting go. It comes from surrendering the mind's obsessive need to control everything. So how do we actually practice surrendering the mind during a chaotic afternoon? Well, here are 3 highly actionable steps you can use right at your desk today. Step 1, pause and take a deep breath. Just break that physical cycle of panic. Step 2, acknowledge the things you cannot control. Literally list them mentally and then release your grip on them. And step 3, trust the overarching divine process. Remember that high canopy we talked about? Trust that there is a larger, purposeful rhythm to life that goes far beyond your current daily stressors. I want to leave you with this deeply grounding thought today. If you finally let go of trying to control the chaos around you, what beautiful things might take its place? Clarity? Creativity? Maybe actual joy? I invite you to step back into your day carrying this ancient wisdom with you. Lower the stakes of the grind, remember that canopy above you, and allow yourself the profound grace of walking through your busy life feeling lighter, protected, and truly carefree.